Here, there was about 10 trillion in stablecoin volume, and that's poised to grow about 2 to 3x year over year. So it's been a huge growth story for crypto as people start to think about how to make the dollar faster, cheaper, more global. 87% of Americans are unhappy with the current financial system. They don't think it's fair in terms of its equal access. They think it's too slow, it's too expensive, and so they're looking for a technology that can update the financial system. And I think we're going to see crypto continue to move from a trading asset to being used for all kinds of payments and different new applications in Web3.
So as we see the adoption of crypto and Web3 technology, specifically through stablecoin adoption and regulation coming towards the end of this year, I made this clip about what's about to happen for Coinbase by December 30th that you need to be ready for.
And if we look at the upcoming changes to stablecoin support in the EEA, due to new European markets and crypto asset MiCA regulation, Coinbase will restrict services for stablecoins that do not meet MiCA requirements by the 30th of December of 2024. Ripple has partnered with the Digital Pound Foundation, and they've been commencing beta testing of their USD-backed stablecoin on the XRP ledger to be fully compliant. And their goal is to enhance liquidity, driving institutional use and supporting cross-border payments to bridge global liquidity. So Ripple is big in the European Union, and we've known for years that USDT has always been a ticking time bomb and eventually will be replaced long-term.
Now we have breaking news from Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, paying with EURC at a retail store in Paris. And what do you know? Ripple is partnered with the Digital Euro Association, and RLUSD is the chosen one because it's MiCA compliant in Europe. So this has led tons of people to say that the digital euro will run on XRP. So if that's the case, why is XRP's price virtually doing nothing over the past year? And what's going to happen in the markets over the next few months that you need to be ready for? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss what's happening on the charts for the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, what Stellar XLM's chief legal officer said on stage with the Atlantic Council, U.S. Treasury, Bloomberg, CEO of Deutsche Bank, and also confirmation of integration with Stellar on the XLM rails, Circle's USDC stablecoin, and UHNCR incumbent. The rails have been solidified. So we're going to discuss the XLM to the US dollar price chart, and also how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes per day with the #1 play to earn XRP game. So if you're feeling bullish, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, comment 777. And as always, to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
I'm so excited to be here in Paris at Rickshaw. Very excited because Rickshaw is adopting the future of money and taking payments in EURC, internet-based euro. I'm excited to purchase some gifts for my children. How much would it cost for these two items?
27.
27 euro.
How would you like to pay?
Can I pay you on base?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna send on base 27 euro. Voila.
Perfect, sir.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So not only is Coinbase getting ready for this global adoption through the base chain, and we're going to see a lot of projects and altcoins on the base chain explode that I've talked about in previous videos, but right here, the Digital Euro Association announced its partnership back in February of 2022 with Ripple. So this isn't new news. However, we need to be reminded of what Ripple has done in the past that is paving the rails for today, because in order for mass adoption to take place, you got to build a road. Like, remember when, I don't remember, but in the history books, you know, if you read them or we were taught this stuff about the Oregon Trail, when people would go across the whole entire country, there were a lot of deaths along the way. It was the wild, wild west. There was no clear-cut freeway to drive across, and it took forever until a road was made. Now, how long did it take to make a road? Did it take a day? Of course not. You know, it took years and years and years, and that's what we're going through right now in the finance space for banking. And so it's inevitable. The most difficult thing that people have to go through is patience, because social media companies have rotted people's brains through dopamine addiction to scrolling on Instagram and TikTok, to where they're trained to be impatient, and the elite know this, so they're going to shake you out of your positions. And when we look at XRP's price saying stagnant for too long, then people think it's a crappy project because it hasn't gone up in price overnight in 24 hours, let alone a few years. But if Ripple is partnered with a vast majority of central banks out there to work on CBDCs, Ripple saying right here that it's the leading provider of enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions for cross-border payments. The leading, it's not just one of them, it's the leading provider. They've developed a blockchain-based infrastructure to support CBDCs and engaged with Bhutan Central Bank, among others, to execute their CBDC pilot. They're also the member of the Digital Pound Foundation, and they continue to extend their efforts around the world. So not only when you're in doubt, you need to zoom out, but I think we need to take some advice from this guy right here. Out in Tampa, he's planning to ride out Milton on a 20-foot sailboat. This is the definition of an absolute legend. He's now the king of the XRP community, hands down. The torch and the crown has been passed over to him.
All right, Dan, the people that are new, explain to them why you're deciding to stick out a Category 5, one of the worst hurricanes in Tampa history, out on a 20-foot sailboat in Tampa Harbor.
My faith in God. I don't put my faith in man. God told me to come out here and get a boat. I came out here and got a boat. And everything that he's been telling me over the last 2 days is I'm doing the right thing. He's got my back. I'm in good shape. I ain't sweating it. We're going to ride this one out. We got set up the way we know what we're doing. And as long as the water just keeps rising, we'll be fine.
Will you be wearing a life jacket?
Hell no.
Are you going to be able to swim if it need be?
In circles.
Can you swim with one leg or what?
Yeah, I can float like a damn champ. But swimming, I just go in circles.
So the plan's just to stick it out here?
Yeah. I mean, the water's going to come in, it's going to rise. If you're on land, it's going to flood, you're risking drowning. I'm in a boat. The boat goes up with the water. So even if the boat goes up 100 feet in the air, I'm going to be up 100 feet in the air with the water. So it's really, the safest place in the world to be is on my boat. And I got room for one more female.
Give the people some words of wisdom out there.
Just, you know what to do. Just be safe. Don't do stupid shit. And we'll all be all right. We'll be here, we'll be here tomorrow and the day after.
Perfect, man. Let's go one day at a time. Let's do it.
All right.
So that's some sage advice right there. He's got faith in God. And as long as you're in the boat and the tide rises, so do all ships. So the real key here is if you're on land, then you get wiped out with the wave. Being on land is the equivalent of not holding any crypto. Sure, like if you evacuate and you get out of the area, and then things crash and it doesn't go good for that guy, then, it's better just to get out of the area. But in the financial space, as long as you have self-custody over your crypto, regardless of the volatility, in the macro, the tides are going to rise because global liquidity is rising and coming in. So when we look at Total 3, we've just seen this play out over the macro. Every single one of these candles is a week. And if you go all the way back here to 2017, $14 billion. A lot of people thought crypto was too risky around this time. So they didn't buy in here. They didn't buy in here, and then some people FOMO'd in. Obviously, a lot of them FOMO'd in on the way up here. And then they got wrecked and it sold off to the downside. But even if they held from the high of 2018, they're still up right now. So even if you bought the high of 2021, in my opinion, over the next few years, we're going to be somewhere up here. So why would you stress about what happens in the short term unless you absolutely need the money now? If you need the money now and you have to hedge out of your crypto portfolio, then go start a business. Work 10 times as hard as you do right now. Wake up at 3 a.m. Stop making excuses. Go out there and get a second job. Get a third job, get a fourth job. Work on yourself, read some books, attend some seminars, pay for some coaching. Do what you got to do. Point blank period. Stop making excuses and then invest money in the right places. Now, obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell anything because crypto's risky. You could definitely lose money in these markets. In fact, most people do lose money. I've lost a lot of money in the crypto markets. I've also made a lot of money. But these videos are just purely for educational, informational purposes only. So you should always do your own research. But when we look right here, there was this bearish channel from the downtrend of the 1st of April, and we broke it on the weekly on the 23rd of September, and we started a new bullish channel. So the real key here is we are at the 50 SMA right now in blue. If we can stay with inside of this channel, we could even come down, and wick people out down here, and all these leverage traders could get wiped out as we come back down to test the 200 SMA. That's definitely possible. But the real key here is we just need to stay inside of this channel and continue the uptrend to have the bull market intact. Where things would get troublesome is if we broke below these levels right here and the 200 at the same time, because the last, line of defense is all the way down the 5th of August at 460 something billion dollars. And currently we're at 586 billion. So I think we're just going to keep marching sideways and upwards over the next few weeks leading into November. And the true bull run is going to start after November 28th, as I talked about in a previous video. And the next move could happen rapid and fast, because as you guys know, we go through these long periods of consolidation, right here, as you can tell at the bottom, 26th of December, before we really started breaking out, it took like 300 plus days. And then we break out, we consolidate for another period of time. And this one was a little bit shorter. It was 70 days. And then we break out, really fast, and we consolidate, and it's boring for a period of time. We're over 210 days into this consolidation phase right now. And so we are due for a breakout within the next few months. Now, whether we break to the upside or the downside simply depends on the reaction to the Fed cutting interest rates over the next few meetings leading into the end of this year. But either way, global liquidity is going up. We just started the bull run in Q4 of 2022. We're still in a macro market uptrend. So I think that uptrend is just going to continue. And then we're really going to go explosive and see another major, massive move leading into 2025, in my opinion. And it's going to be rapid. It's going to be quick. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. And then we go through another cool off phase in the market for an extended period of time before the next leg up. And so the rallies that happen to the upside, it's going to be rapid. It's going to be quick. And then the consolidation phases take, like what you're seeing right now, 200 days. So that's like 6 months, 8 months. But after Bitcoin's halving, this has happened every single time after Bitcoin's halving. If we go back to the last cycle, you guys can see post Bitcoin's halving, we saw this consolidation phase. After COVID, right here, another consolidation at the all-time high. And then we broke out. We went parabolic very, very quick. So when we start breaking out, you don't have much time to prepare. You just need to be positioned and be in your sailboat like that guy before the waters rise, 15, 20 feet. In this case, it'd be by billions of dollars in market cap, potentially even trillions of dollars as we breach past the all-time high. And you have to know what are the right projects to hold. Now, there are the current trends that are going to be hot this bull run, like artificial intelligence, gaming, real-world assets, decentralized physical infrastructure. But there is another category that is essentially a whole breed and a beast in and of itself that's going to be even bigger on the macro. And that's where XRP and that's where XLM fall in, because they are bridging global liquidity. So Stellar's chief legal officer came out and said this.
And I love talking about the actual uses. Use cases sound like they might be happening in the future. This is happening now. Okay. Over $4 million has been distributed in Ukraine to internally displaced Ukrainians by the UNHCR and IRC, and they built their solution on the Stellar network. And if you think about it from the different players' perspectives, so if I'm in Ukraine and there's a war and I need to get aid, I don't know. In the beginning, when they first came to us, we didn't know what the Ukrainian banking system's resilience would be. So I'm going to have to go to a location, a physical location, receive cash. I'm putting a target on my back, on the aid worker's back, and I can only go at certain times. And I need this. I've been displaced. From the UNHCR and the aid organizations, which we've learned is a very competitive market out there. Who's going to give me aid, and how do I build trust with my donors? Well, they have a solution now where instantaneously they can send aid in the form of a US dollar-backed stablecoin, USDC, to aid recipients, some of whom are sitting in a bunker. They can do it 24/7. They don't have to go out into the danger zones. And those recipients in Ukraine, there's not a huge unbanked problem, but some are unbanked. They can go into a MoneyGram location, which is integrated with the Stellar network, get local currency. Some of them may feel like they need to leave Ukraine, and they go to Poland. They go to whatever country they go to on the Stellar network, as long as they have, there's a MoneyGram location, and there are, I think, 300 countries. They can cash out in local currency. So there's this transparency element, there's a safety element, there's a speed element. And Ukraine, so President Zelensky actually came and met with us pre-war and was very fixated on corruption. And obviously they have a strong reputation for corruption, and he was intent on fixing that. And some of that was using the transparent blockchain network. So another endeavor in Ukraine, which is not aid related, but I think will be reconstruction related, is the transparent network, which is the Independent Association of Banks of Ukraine have gotten together, and it's right now in friends and family pilot stage, but an instant payments network, and there are merchants involved, and so people in Ukraine are going to be able to use stable reserve currencies and transact with merchants and have the banking system engaged in that, and it's running on an open public network, the Stellar network, and in anticipation of, I don't know how all of you smart people make these estimations, but $500 billion in reconstruction is what I've seen. If that is coming in, and you are a country where corruption is a huge concern, and the speed and of getting that aid into the hands of people who need to use it, a transparent network that is essentially instantaneous is huge. So, so with the corruption concerns, and then with aid, the other stat that always surprises me is that only 30% of aid payments actually get to the recipients, the intended recipients. So if you have a transparent network and you're able to show your donors or show whoever is sending, whether it's for aid or for reconstruction, not who got it, but the path to a wallet address that somebody actually received the aid that you sent. I think each of us would probably are more comfortable with that. Every time there's a crisis and I want to give money, I'm always like, who do I trust? So if you add an element of trust through the technology, you're solving certain problems.
So I don't think people understand how big of a deal this is, because there's been confirmation of the integration with Stellar on XLM rails and Circle's USDC stablecoin, where the rails have already been solidified.
The Stellar blockchain aid disbursement system is live, fully implemented by the UNHCR, who is delivering digital cash assistance to internally displaced people, IDPs, in Ukraine. Cash-based interventions serve as a lifeline to the world's most vulnerable populations. This need is only growing, most notably with the start of the war in Ukraine, causing some 7.8 million refugees to flee the country and 6.5 million to become displaced within the country, which pushed the number of forcibly displaced people globally to 103 million for the first time, the highest number of forcibly displaced people in history.
The solution is live, so that's good. It's fully integrated, and I'm also here wearing the financial hat. So I'm a finance professional. So we needed to ensure that this solution really meets our high criteria in traceability, accountability, making sure that we can actually report dollar by dollar. So we are confident today that the reporting tool is fully in place and we can deliver in an accountable way.
Now, as you guys already know, Christine Lagarde, the head of the IMF, said that if you get caught using or sending over $1,000 in cash, then they're going to throw you in jail at some point. I don't know if that's actually live out there right now, but they don't want people using physical cash. The head of the Bank for International Settlement said that as well, too. So with them transitioning to distributed ledger technology, you're investing in the best possible assets that are going to be used in the future. Now, when we look at the charts, it might not seem that way, but simple investing of buying low and selling high is what you might want to take into account here, because a lot of people that look at a chart like this, for example, if I were to zoom in, they're like, oh, this is a great chart. And they try and get dips on the way up during a bull run. When things like this happen, they're like, they buy here. They're like, the chart rockets up to about 42 cents. Like, awesome. They buy some more here. They're like, yeah, I'm the best trader ever. They buy more here. Then they're like, yeah, I got the best entry points because we're in an uptrend, right? Things are going well. And then they don't take any profits right through here. And then guess what happens? Boom. Now we see a break of trend in a structure. And all of a sudden they're at a loss from this position and this position right here. And they're like, I'm just going to hodl, right? Have diamond hands because I'm holding a good project like XLM. XLM's good, right? And then all of a sudden we see a bounce like, yeah, it's recovering. We're going to the moon. And then nope, sure enough, we're in a bear market. We see the downtrend continue and we just see lower highs and lower lows. And then they get, in even more of a loss on their portfolio because they waited to buy during the peak euphoria stage, the belief, thrill, and euphoria of the bull run. That's what this is right here. And then the complacency stage right here that takes place on the psychology of a market cycle kicks in, and they just hold all the way to the bottom. The bottom comes in, and this is just a falling wedge, guys. The target on a falling wedge, although I give no guarantees, just example purposes only, is the high of the wedge. That's 83 cents for XLM back to the high. We're sitting under 9 cents right now. And so the fact that the chart, right, tried to break out by July of 2023, couldn't, and is just still in this downtrend getting rejected from this descending resistance, even if we come further to the downside at this horizontal support right here and just coil up, eventually something has to give. We look at the volume oscillator right here at the bottom of the screen. We're at negative 7.88. And we're also in this symmetrical triangle where it's just coiling up even more. Eventually, there's going to be some big volume spike that's going to come in here. Now, if that happens to the upside, that would look like a break of this descending resistance, potentially consolidation, hold it as support, and then boom, a spring to the upside. Now, the rally would be similar to what happened back here. And then what's going to happen here, I can almost guarantee this because this is just how psychology works. I'm teaching you psychology here in a simple perspective where you can just look at this. When a breakout happens, people wait for these massive breakouts, and then they start buying the breakout, and then they're left holding during the consolidation phases where we see the chart do stuff like this and then freak everyone out. And then all of a sudden the next leg up happens, and then they buy more on the way up, and then they buy this rally, back to the all-time high, and then they buy even more when a bigger breakout takes place to a parabolic blow off top, and then we see the complacency stage take place, and the anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, and then depression for the bear market going into the next market cycle bottom. And then they're left holding their bags because they bought the peaks on these Elliott wave 1, 2, and 3 rather than accumulating when the markets are at lows. Now, does that mean that XLM is going to break out right now? Absolutely not. For all I know, we could consolidate here in this support and we could see some EMP attack and some days of darkness and stuff, and all of a sudden, like, power goes out for everyone. They crash the whole system and everything collapses for a bit, and we could come all the way down here. If that happens, I don't care at all. I'll just figure out a way to buy more and set some limit buy orders down in these levels if we come to take out this, if that ever happens, right? Now, I don't think that would happen, but I kind of hope that it does so I can accumulate more, because I know eventually this is going to break, and eventually XLM is, in my opinion, no guarantees, I always got to say that legally, right, is going to go up. So why would I stress about what's going to happen in the short term? And why would I complain about buying, at these levels and it going down a little bit more, knowing that I'm accumulating virtually at the bottom right now? That's like accumulating right back here on the 5th of October before XLM went from, 7, 8 cents all the way upwards of 80 cents. If I were to just measure what that growth was like, even if you were late, that was 1,000%. That's a 10x. So putting 10 grand into it, that would turn to $100,000. Now, if we just go back to the all-time high from where we're at right now, let's measure and see what that would look like. Just back to the all-time high is roughly 700 to 800%. That's a 7 to an 8x. If we extend beyond that, what could XLM do? Could it go to a few dollars this bull run? Well, with global adoption taking place, these companies, Stellar and Ripple, partnering with these massive central banks, these global institutions, to pioneer the initiative for what they're planning to have ready by 2030. If you're not preparing now and stacking as much crypto as humanly possible, then there's nothing we could do to help you out. So what I've been doing over the past few months is I've been stacking crypto rewards, and I've been doing that through the #1 play to earn XRP game. Now, I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can check it out, and you can get started in less than 10 minutes watching this 8-minute video. You just click the button on the page. We'll show you how to get your XRP wallet, how to get your game pieces, how to play the game during crypto, how to withdraw your crypto and add it to the liquidity pool to be able to benefit from the #1 liquidity pool in the world on the XRP ledger. So this XRP game has an in-game currency that's also paired to XRP on the liquidity pool. So if XRP does well this bull run, then this in-game currency will do well as well too. But as always, I make no financial guarantees for anything because you got to take full responsibility for your own investments. But if you do want to become a crypto millionaire this bull run cycle, the only way to do that is by taking your knowledge to the next level so you can grow your portfolio to the next level. So if you go to bullrunners.com, you can join the early bird list for exclusive altcoin picks, market analysis, and early access to our crypto education platform to improve your knowledge about crypto each and every single day. So you can properly prepare yourself before this bull run goes into full swing and we go into euphoria mode. You don't need any previous crypto trading experience. You just click the button on the page. It says, yes, reserve my spot on the list. Put in your best email address. You'll be instantly subscribed to our daily video newsletter to receive value-based videos like this. You also get instant access to our Telegram group where we post our top altcoin picks too. before we make videos about them on some projects that we're spotting on like Dex Tools or Dex Screeners before they get listed on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So that's one benefit of getting on the list if you haven't done that yet. I posted one that already has done like a 5x or a 6x in the past 24 to 48 hours. So don't miss out on that. Check out the links in the description below as we back up our truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain tech, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over time. That's the truth. And together, we're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com through the links below. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.